Okay. I have 8 minutes. I'm going to speak for 7 minutes and 30 seconds and cry for 30 seconds, so I just want to warn you now. Okay. I grew up all over the country. I attended 13 different schools before I moved here for my 8th grade year. I became a Reed Beaver, which is simultaneously the best and worst mascot of all time. I then became a Hillcrest Hornet, where I spent 4 remarkable years. Springfield was truly the first place I was able to call home, and to say that I'm honored to be here today is an understatement. I stand before you today and I've been asked to share a few words, maybe a few words about my experience at Springfield Public Schools, some words about my work that I do today, or some words about who I am today. But most of what and who I am today is because of many of the people in this room. I have snot. Okay, thank you. My speech and debate coach is going to be so mad that I just said that. Oh, yes. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay. Again, most of what and who I am today is because of many of the people in this room. During a basketball game against the Studi Stars in 1999, a basketball was chest passed to an opposing player. Instead of reaching the intended player's hands, it met my face. I started to cry and feel very, very sorry for myself, and Coach Karen Gordon looked at me from the sidelines and yelled, "Keep going." In 2000, I failed a pre-algebra test. I studied for it, I practiced with my friends, and I even brought my Lucky NSYNC poster with me. And as I sat down to fill in the blanks, my mind too went blank. I was so mad at myself. I kept telling myself how stupid I was, how disappointing I was, and I asked to go to the principal's office so I could talk to someone. That someone was Judy Bruner. She knew something was off. I didn't say anything about my intrusive thoughts or the failed test or how I hadn't eaten the night before or how I was terrified of the dark and I didn't sleep, but I asked her if I could listen to some music. She blared "Bye, bye, bye" from her computer speakers and she said, "Dance." And we jumped around awkwardly mimicking the moves of the most popular boy band. In 2000, I visited my counselor. Mary Kay Hostler welcomed me into her office where she asked me questions. She laughed at my jokes and she listened to me without judgment. I shared some news with her that would make many adults panic or enter solution mode. Instead, she looked me in my eyes, she hugged me and said, "I believe you." She then connected my family and I to much-needed services. In 2000, I had an open 8th period. Miss Linda Frederick told me that I could serve as her teacher's aide where I would help with the yearbook. There were days I would enter her classroom in the 8th grade hallway and my stomach would growl. I ate lunch, but by 2:30, I was hungry again and my mind was filled with questions like, what will my family eat when I get home? She brought me bags of food for the weekend and snacks that I could immediately enjoy. She said, "Eat." And we snacked on Cheetos and chocolate as I shared my ideas for the school spirit page of the yearbook. In 2001, I took my first individual dual sports class with Coach Fielding at Hillcrest. I showed up each day in a denim skirt and a t-shirt ready to participate. Coach adjusted any activity to accommodate me while simultaneously treating me like every other student. During an archery session, as the line snapped my wrist and the arrow flew past the target, she looked at me and said, "Hustle up and try again." After the 4th attempt, the arrow pierced the bullseye and she screamed and jumped as if I just made her the proudest coach in the entire world. I felt so special. In 2002, Dina Butcher watched me perform a humorous interpretation in Intro to Speech and Debate class, and as soon as I finished, she said, "If you took that to a speech and debate tournament, you would win first place." Immediately following, I met Chad Bruton for the first time. The new speech and debate coach embraced me and taught me how to actually advocate for myself. As I entered the final round as a novice to qualify for the National Speech and Debate Tournament, he said, "Go win it. You can do this, believe you can, and then go and do it." I did. In 2003, I was nominated for Homecoming Queen. I was so excited. This meant that people liked me, right? Like the girl who grew up all over the place and never had any friends until she moved to Springfield. Wow, this was a moment for me. Then that excitement immediately turned to dread. There was a tradition where homecoming queen candidates had to wear a white dress. We were very poor, and I could not ask my mom for another dress. The next day, Dr. Julie Leith, Hillcrest principal, called my mom into her office and gave her $200 and said, "Go buy Brandy the dress of her dreams." She had a pulse on her students. She knew what they needed without them ever even knowing it, and for the first time in a long time, I felt like I fit in. I was truly happy. Also, all of those people are right there at that table today. I love you all so much. In 2004, after I finished my final assignment as student body president, I graduated high school and became the first in my family to attend college, Drury University. There are the Panthers back there. Hi. Rawr. Oh yeah, Panthers, okay. Based on my experiences, a textbook might say that I was destined to become a statistic, that my path was predetermined. But what that textbook didn't include were the countless Springfield Public Schools educators and staff that poured so much into me. That textbook didn't mention how Mr. Hudson taught me leadership skills, how Miss Thompson taught me how to be a better writer, how Coach Hopkins high-fived me whenever she passed me in the hall, how Nancy Rowe showed up to speech and debate practices even though she coached for a different school. Miss Gilmore proved to me that I could excel in science. Mr. George taught me empathy. Mimi taught me swear words in French. Miss Sparks helped me understand my body and my brain. Miss Rasmussen taught me how to sew. Miss Bishop helped me read. This is public education. Sorry. It is not just 4 + 4 or parts of speech, it is everything to me. I have been asked to stand before you today to share a few words, but it is impossible for me to articulate my gratitude for the people in this room. I truly believe that you saved my life. All I can do is share parts of my story and maybe provide some advice based on my experiences, so here is my best attempt. To the educators in the room, please hear me. There are no neutral interactions with kids. I stand before you today as a 35-year-old CEO for Boys and Girls Clubs of Springfield who can still remember very important integral moments during her time as a student. While you do not get to see the impact that you make every day by the things you do or don't do, your work is remarkably important. To the past, present, and future leaders of Reed and Hillcrest, thank you. Demographics might suggest that many of the students you serve are at-risk students, but I'm here to remind you that every child is at risk of something if not given a safe space and an irrationally passionate adult. Dr. Kroll, can you stand up or look? Okay, can you stand actually? This is really important. Okay, last night you brought me my senior yearbook. What you didn't know is that I lost mine, and for me, my memories are packed into photos and yearbooks. One of the greatest times in my life was gone. Something as simple as a yearbook might seem so small for many people, but it was so important to me, and you gave me those memories back without even knowing it. Thank you. To the students in the room, I'm so happy you're here today. The advice I could give you is the advice that was provided for me, intentional or not. Keep going. Dance, belong, eat, talk to trusted adults and prioritize your mental health. Hustle up and try again. Believe you can, and then go and do it. Thank you so much for being here today, and I want to tell you that last night a couple of my close friends went to dinner after the reception. They showered me with love and told me how special I was, that I was one of the youngest people to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And I think that's important for you to know today too. There is no recipe or ingredient you need to possess to create change. There is no age limit on it. You get to create the world that you want to live in, and you, dear students, are the ones that you've been waiting for. To my work family and my friends, the Boys and Girls Club team, the Boys and Girls Club board, my closest and best friends who are here today, thank you so much for showing up, and thank you so much for believing in me. They're right there and there and there. So if you just wave. to everyone so everyone can see you. Thank you. To my mom, Christine, and sister, Amina, thank you so much for traveling to be here today. We have been through so much, and this moment is a celebration for all of us. Thank you for working hard to provide me with the childhood that was the best it could possibly be. Thank you for the late night trips to Dairy Queen to get chocolate dipped cones so we can momentarily forget about the chaos that surrounded us at times. Thank you for being my family. To my therapist, thank you for helping me understand how my work today can and is healing my past. To my husband, Spencer, thank you for supporting and loving me for the past 15 years. I am so thankful that you chose me. It is really difficult to be married to me, and I'm aware of it. Therapy has helped with that too. You are my rock. You make me laugh more than anyone, and you are my person, and I love you. To Lynn, Marcia, and Jeff, congratulations on being honored today. You are so special, and I am so proud of you. Being anywhere in the same space with you is a remarkable honor. Finally, to Springfield Public Schools. I am who I am today because of you. You chose to recognize me because of my contributions to this city, but today I honor and thank you. Thank you for helping me grow. Thank you for feeling as passionately about kids in this community as I do. Thank you for making Boys and Girls Clubs bigger and better. Thank you for helping our team provide equitable access to opportunity to the kids and families who need it most. I stand before you today as a very proud Reed Beaver and Hillcrest Hornet, and while I can never pay you back for everything you've done for me, I vow to pour my heart into this district's students just as you did for me. Thank you.